So, put the date, your name, date, and period on the top right. Today is September 26th. October. What's the month? August. August 26th. Holy cow. August 26th. The title, remember these notes are going to be turned in the day of the test. So it's important you actually take them. It's also important that you don't lose them, because that would be unfortunate if you lost them and do them again. Okay, rules of exponents. Does anyone know what EQ is? Ah, who's an avid? All of you guys are an avid? Wow. Who went to Granite Park who's maybe not currently an avid? A few? Okay, so, okay. Who has no clue what avid is? A few, okay. I also teach avid, but I have a seniors, so that's what advanced via individual determination over there. Anyway, they are pros at taking notes. So if your neighbor just rose their hand that they're an avid, watch what they're doing. They're pros. Okay. Wow. That's awesome to see so many people in avid. Okay. What are similarities and differences of the product, quotient, and power rules of exponents? This is the essential question that by the end of the notes you should be able to answer. And we'll practice doing the summaries next week since I won't be here on Thursday. But eventually you'll be actually answering these questions. Okay. I think most people are almost caught up. We're going to start with the product rule. There is a hand, and I'll try to work on names. Who knows what the word product means? Okay, what's your name? Yeah, what's your name? What was it? Tatiana. What was your last name? That's unique. Tatiana. She's right. It's the answer you get when you multiply. The answer to multiplication, solution to multiplication problem. Okay, so we're going to be multiplying terms with exponents. Example 1. Tatiana, what's your favorite letter? There's 26 of them to pick. Okay. Okay. Well then just pick a letter for us. Z? C as in cowboy. Okay. C. And where is Sadie at? Sadie, what's your favorite number? Number? Number. 2. Okay, thank you. 2C to the 4th times C cubed. Okay? On this first assignment, we're going to practice expanding them out. Maybe you already know the shortcut. We'll talk about the shortcut in a minute. Maybe you already know that. But we're going to practice showing our work, and in a few days, I'll let you just do this part in your head. How many C's are actually located right here next to the 2? 4, because of the exponent, right? Yeah. So if we expand it out, exponents are showing repeated multiplication. So it's 2 times C times C times C times C. Okay? And fingers up in the air, how many C's are represented right here? Show me the fingers up in the air. Excellent. 3. So we added another set of 3 C's being multiplied. Which all together means, shout it out, how many C's are there? 7. Good. So this would be 2C to the 7th power. Does anyone remember the shortcut or maybe recognize the shortcut? Yeah, we just do what? Add the exponents, right? 4 plus the 3 would equal the 7. So let's do color. Shortcut. When we multiply exponents, we add. Multiply terms with exponents, I should say. Common basis, we add. Add exponents. Multiply, add. Multiply, add. Okay. And in the next couple of days, you'll be watching a video, which we use that a lot. Multiply, add. Multiply, add. So memorize that. example 2. Let's see, someone on end of the alphabet. Caitlin, number 2. Caitlin X. That's you, right? Caitlin, what's your favorite letter? W. Okay, and the other Caitlin was over here. Caitlin in the orangish jacket. What's your favorite letter? Or number? Give me a number. 3. Thank you. Okay, you said W? 3 W to the 5th times 6W squared. Okay, another way to show work would be using the shortcut. We would take the 5 and the 2, and what are we supposed to do with those exponents? Add. If you like expanding, you can totally do that, but once the numbers get larger than like a 5, you get lots of letters and it gets kind of messy. Or we can do W to the 5 plus 2, and we get, let's see, 9, right, which would be this. Is that good? 9W to the 7th. Is that good? Is that good? That's not good. I intentionally did something wrong. What was your name again? Derek. Oh, yeah. Are we supposed to times these numbers in front?
Yeah.
We're supposed to times, but what did I do? I added. So this adding exponents is only for exponents. Does anyone know the word for the 3 and the 6? The W's are the bases. 3 and 6 have a vocabulary word, a number in front to show the quantity being multiplied, so with a C. It's coming out. Quotient? Coefficient. There we go. Coefficient. Everyone say that word. Coefficient. Coefficient. So these should not be 9s. Well, that is not erased. What's going on? What? There we go. Those should not be 9s. Instead, 3 times 6 is... What in the world? The board's confused. The board is confused. 18. There we go. So this is the correct answer. And that's a different way to show your work. And like I said, after a couple days, if you can do this in your head, I'll let you not show the work on it. You can just do it in your head. But for today's assignment, I'd appreciate it if you did it in your work. All right. Anyone in here have a short name, like 3, 4 letters name? Okay, what was your name again? Dan. Dan? That is short. And they're all different, which is good. Dan, what's your favorite number?
14.
14. Ooh, all of the big numbers. Okay. 14. D-A-N. Notice I'm using lowercase. There's a time and a place for capitals and a time and place for lowercase. So variables are lowercase. Okay. 3, 8, and I'm not going to put anything on the end. Times, would be nice, 2, D, A, sorry you guys in the corner, N, 4, 2, 5. Okay, so if we were to show our work for Ms. Gray, let's start with the variables. We would write, I'm going to leave space for coefficients, I'll get back to this in a sec. D to the, what do I do with the D's?
Add those two, add
D3 plus.
Yeah. 3 plus 4. So for make Ms. Gray happy for this first assignment, I'm actually going to show that, even though we can do that in our head. And then I take the A's, I just take them term by term. We write A to the 8 plus 2 and N to the, this guy doesn't have an exponent. Are there 0 N's right there?
There's 1.
1. So you need to you can write that in if it helps you. You make sure you're aware of that. 1 plus 5. And the coefficients is approximately 14 plus 2
No.
times them. There's a difference between coefficients and exponents. So 28, which gives us 28. Dan, you are now d to the 7th, a to the 10th, n to the 6th. That's why the shortcut is nice, because who wants to write 10 a's out? Anyone? There's a mathematician, I used to know his name, but I've forgotten. Mathematician way back in the day was the one who came up with exponents. Because he's like, I'm tired of writing a's and d's and n's 7, 10, 6 times. Let's find a shorter way to notate this. And that's how exponents came about. Do I have any questions or confusions on product rule? Who remembers this from junior high? Excellent. Do you remember this from junior high? Yes, no, please. Okay, let's do the next rule. Quotient rule. Example 4. Name on? The mod. The mod. Okay, do you know what the word quotient means? It does deal with division, but which part of division? Good. The answer to the division problem. So, we have division. Mnemon. What's your favorite letter? N. Of course. Actually, I need a number on this one. And we'll use N for the next example, just to keep it. What's your favorite number? 16. Okay. Ooh. Test your skills a little bit. Okay. 16 to the 5th divided by 16 to the 3rd. Okay? Analyze that for a second. Besides it being a fraction and besides it having division, what else is different about this problem than our last 3 problems? Ideas? And your name again? Thank you. The base this time is an integer. Yeah? It's not a variable. So, your whole first side of your homework has bases as integers. So I want you to make sure you're aware of where your answer stops. The directions don't say solve. It says simplify. It's different. So on this one, how many 16s are supposed to be on the top? 5. And in the denominator? 3. Now, anything divided by itself is 1. 1 times 1 times 1. Does times divided by 1 do anything? No, so we don't write them. Now, what's remaining are 2 16s. So, you picked a big number for me, Amon. I don't know what 16 times 16 is. Oh, 256. That's not the answer we want, though. How is another way to write 16 times 16 based off of what we're doing? Thank you. What was your name again? What? Reka. Okay. Thank you. 16 squared. All we're doing is simplifying, so that's the answer. 256 is not the answer. Okay? So on the whole first side of your homework, you are you're leaving it as a base with an exponent, as simplified as it can go. Okay, example 5, we use the end now. Do you have a favorite word that starts with N besides your name? Because the A repeats like 3 times. Nickels. Oh, okay, he's challenging us again. He likes challenges. Okay. Nickels. Oh gosh. I don't even know how to spell nickel. Guys, I'm a terrible speller. E-L or L-E? E-L? Oh, it's L-E? Good thing I asked. Yeah? Okay. It gets worse when you're trying to spell in front of people. Okay. Ooh, let's see. right? What's your favorite number?
I think
Can you pick one that's not prime?
2.
Thanks. Okay. Okay, everyone see those numbers in the back? Okay, try to keep the numbers reasonable, so we have to expand these things. And second, we'll talk about a shortcut. Okay, up next to the 2, let's just go down, so let's start in the back row with, you guys have duplicate names. One was Caitlin. We'll go with Caitlin, we'll do the N, then down the row, I-C-K-L-E. Okay? Caitlin, how many N's do we need? The numerator. 2. Your neighbor, how many I's do we need? In the numerator.
3. Or 1.
1, because there's not an exponent, right? Okay, neighbor, how many C's?
3.
Thank you. Next, how many K's? Across the aisle. Thank you. And next, how many E's on the numerator? 4. Okay, in the denominator, let's jump rows. We'll start with you here in the white. In the denominator, how many N's? 1. Okay, neighbor, how many I's?
2.
C's? K's? Ah! 1. How many K's are there? 1. There's 0 K's. It says 0 power. Which we'll talk about the 0 power next. But I'm not going to write any K's because it says K with a 0 power. It says there are no zeros. L and E's. Oh, jumping yet. Oh, lots of E's. Okay, so we go through and cancel them out. Expansions can be kind of tedious, can't it? So maybe you've noticed a shortcut. When I cancel these out, anything divided by itself is 1, including variables divided by itself. Okay, just working with the variables. Oh, lost my rule. Uriel. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Uriel? Okay. Uriel, how many N's are remaining after we've done the cancellation?
1.
And where is it? The numerator or the denominator?
Numerator.
Numerator. So you can write to the first power, but you don't have to. Okay, how many I's are remaining? Fatima, where are you at? Fatima, how many I's are remaining?
1.
And where is it?
Denominator.
Denominator. That's important. Location's important. How many C's are remaining? Brindy? Where's Brindy? How many C's? Where is it? On the end. Yeah, the numerator. Also C is the first power. I did lots of first powers on accident. How many K's? Michaela? Where's Michaela? Michaela, how many K's are remaining?
2.
Where are they? And that would be K squared? Yeah? And E's. How many E's? 2 in the denominator. Does everyone see that? Now, 2 and 8 are not exponents, so what do we actually do with 2 and 8? Divide. Please show me the fingers in the air. What is the simplification when we divide 2 divided by 8? Simplified fraction, because we have a fraction for our answer. Ah, I like the way she's doing it. sometimes I get two answers. I get this, and I get this. Which one is it? Yeah, it's 1 over 4. So the 4, make sure you put it in the denominator. You can write the 1 in the numerator, but you don't have to. You can. This is completely fine. You can also put the 1. You can also put 1s on all of the exponents if you want. That's just a lot of extras that you don't have to do. Any questions on the quotient rule? Has anyone noticed the shortcut? Top minus bottom, right? We subtract on the ends. 2 minus 1 is 1. Now, there's some reasons why we have letters in the denominator, because 1 minus 2 is actually negative 1, and it's in the denominator. If you don't know why that is, we'll talk about that next class. Okay? 3 minus 2 is 1, etc. It works out. That's why we're doing expansions. We didn't talk about negatives today. Okay, next rule, 0 rule. Unless we need another example of division. Does anyone want another example of division? The 0 property. Okay, anything to the 0 power, 8 to the 0, 9 to the 0. How many A's are actually here? 0. So there are no A's there, right? They're invisible. What's the only number that's allowed to be invisible? 1. So this equals 1. This equals 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Whether it's a variable to the 0 power, or a whole number, or an integer to the 0 power, besides 0. Okay? So don't leave zeros in your final answer. If you have something to the 0 power, just erase it. It should not be in your final answer. Okay? The final property we're going to talk about is the power property. The power rule. Example 7. Anyone else have a short name, like 3 or 4 letters, that all the letters are different?
Ryan.
Ryan, that will work. Ryan, what's your favorite number?
7.
Another 7, okay. I like 7. Oh, I should do lowercase. Ryan. Okay, so we have 7r cubed, y to the no exponent, so everyone knows what that is, right? 1. A squared, n to the 4th. All of that, the quantity is cubed. There are 2 different ways you can go about doing this. Maybe remember from a previous class how we can simplify this. Anyone have an idea already? Okay, Derek? Okay, so everything inside is being raised to the 3rd power, yeah? Kind of like the distributive property. Is that what you were just saying? Yeah. The only people often forget to give it to the 7 though. So make sure you give it to the 7 and all 4 variables. Okay, so if I was to rewrite it, it'd be 7 to the 3rd power. Yeah, r cubed to the 3rd power. Y. Remember there was a 1 here? I'm going to just put it to the 3rd power. A squared to the 3rd power. And n to the 4th to the 3rd power. Do you remember what the shortcut was for the power rule? Product rule is add, quotient rule is subtract. What's the shortcut for power rule? Over here. Multiply. See all these double exponents? Multiply, 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 multiply. Is this an exponent? No. So do not do 7 times 3. This is 7 to the third power. Does anyone have calculators to do that for me? Because I don't have this one memorized. 7 squared, I know, is 49, times another 7. Someone help me out. Got it?
343.
Thank you. 343. R to the, what do we give right here? 9. Y to the third. A to the 6. Yep. And N to the 12. Excellent. That is one option. There is a second method you could do that would also give you the same answer. Does anyone know that one? It's kind of whichever is your preference, whichever works better with your brain. Let me show you on the same problem. I'll show you the same problem but in a different way. Example 7, part 2. This number right here is your copy machine. It's the number of copies. So what you could do is say, oh, I have to copy this, because isn't that what an exponent is? It just copies the number repeatedly by multiplying. I'm going to copy this 3 times, which can be a little tedious. If you copy it that number of times, which is why I try to keep the number small, once you get past 3, it gets a little long. What does this turn into that we've done above? Earlier on our notes, we did problems like this. You know what it is? I hear murmurs, whisperings. Yeah? The product rule. Now you just look for like pieces. What's the product rule? 7 times 7 times 7. Those coefficients, which we just did the math, so we don't have to do it again. 343. With the r's, what can we do with the exponents when they have a common base and they're being multiplied? Add them. Yep. 3 plus 3 plus 3. 9. Y, the first, plus 1 plus 1 is 3. A, I already did a triangle. 2. Star. 2 plus 2 plus, I wrote a 3. It's not supposed to be 3, it's supposed to be 2. 2 is 6. And lastly, 4, 4, and 4 makes 12. Does it match the one above?
Yeah.
Okay, so whichever way you prefer, pick one and stick with it. You don't have to do both, just do one. Do you guys need to see another power rule, or does power rule make sense? Give me a thumbs up if you need to see one, or I guess thumbs up, you're good. Let's do it that way. That was going to be counterintuitive. Thumbs up if you're good, thumbs down if you'd like to see another one. Okay, I think we're okay. Good. Here's your homework assignment. Exponents, we have, and you can, these go fast. Remember, that first page, the base is a number. You're not going, like if you end up with, which one did you have? I don't know what it was. 3 squared, you don't change it to 9. It's going to stay 3 squared. You're only simplifying. And there are a couple on here that will be extra credit. The ones with the negatives, those are extra credit if you already know how to do them. I think there's 3 problems that have a negative. So if you turn it to a negative,